Hi.
For those of you that don't know me, I'm Dick Saxton from Blissfield. I've been secretary for 2 years. 2 years. Private secretary for what, 15 years, something like this. I gotta die and be replaced. Okay, how many are first-time secretaries? What, Kathy?
Making sure he's working.
Huh?
Just making sure he's working. Sorry, I got the froggy cold voice.
Oh, can I quit?
You keep working.
So all the first-time secretaries, there's gonna be a little bit, about halfway through, there's gonna be a slightly different track for first-time secretaries and mainly on my LCI. Because you'll have to register where the other secretaries are already in. First thing we're looking at, we'll start basic responsibilities of the secretary. Move into your responsibilities as a club secretary. And what happens within meetings, after meetings. Your involvement in board meetings. We'll go into the LCI website itself where you do all your magic. And there's only one position that is the most favored position within a club. The club will die without a secretary. Just remember that. You and the president work hand in hand. Every club will differ in how the secretariat functions. Sometimes the president does some stuff that the secretary normally does. Sometimes another chairperson will do the media. And so every club is an individual club. So what we're giving you tonight is not set in stone. It's sort of the umbrella, how a club secretary would work. Go to the second slide. Okay, responsibilities. The first one, organize the club and the board meetings. This is where it may differ. Our president organizes the meeting. You go to a club, all club and board meetings. Your life is give up a year. You will be really involved with the club. You prepare the agendas. This is where we differ. My president prepares the agenda, sends them out on email. We do it two ways. A lot of the younger club members are on Facebook or on text instead of email. So what we'll do is the club president will prepare the agenda for the meetings, put a notification on text that the agenda is on the club email. Cover all areas. Keep the records. That's where we differ. Every club will differ a little bit. We have a retention committee that keeps all our club records. Offloads it from the secretary a little bit. You compile and file all club reports. Club reports prepared by the secretary are on file forever. They do not expire. So you're going to prepare the record, give it to the retention committee to file for you. Yeah.
keep everything, I'm secretary, I keep everything on electronic file on my
Yeah.
computer.
I do is,
Plus a hard copy, I have electronic file and the hard.
yep. That's what we did before. Last year, we started the retention committee. And you'll attest, it's gonna take a big load off the secretary if you can get a committee in there.
Do, is it crucial to keep a hard copy? Should you keep a hard copy or? What I find, what I find is if I get a question, instead of going back to my electronic version. Sit there, pull it, and it's right there, so for me, it's just. Fine.
I do as well. I've got electronically and hard copy. And like Esther said, I refer to the hard copy much easier. And-
Right.
Well, it's easier to get to it.
Flash drive and you label it 2022, 2023. And put all your documents on that flash drive every year.
Yeah.
It would serve the same purpose.
You know, I have one dedicated to one.
Yeah. Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
Okay, the last one there, the advisory committee of the zone. This is a fancy word for zone meetings. You'll have a zone chair. So you're the district governor's advisory committee. Quote, zone. Let's go to the second slide. Here again, meeting notices is different by the club. Like I said, our president gives out the meeting notices. We know we meet every first and third Wednesday. Meeting agendas, like I said before, individual club. It's a lot of times it's easier for our president to just make the agenda and distribute it. Correspondences. Yes, you will get correspondences. You will get email. You will get snail mail. You will get jobs of mail. It's decreased a lot. I don't know what happened. It's really not.
Do you recommend, like, what do you guys do for your mail? Do you have a post office box? Or do you have, like use someone's address?
I use my address.
Okay. For your phone address.
Only Lions Club has a PO box.
Okay.
Do they?
Clinton has a PO box. That's an host.
Mine got
Yeah.
the secretary. That's her staff.
Yeah. All the awards for all your club members will come to the secretary. You will, once you get an award from one of your members, notify, if your president is making the agenda, notify your president that there is an award for a club member. And you'll put it in the agenda. Oh, take attendance. There's a couple ways you take attendance. If you have the secretary's 3-ring binder, there is a form in that book where you keep a full attendance, any activity for any one of your club members. The club minutes form that I use has a spot in there for attendance. That attendance will be used later on. Next slide. So you're going to take attendance, record the minutes of the meeting. The minutes are club activities. It's not the discussion and everything that goes in there. You can make a note that the subject was discussed. Don't go into detail. 20 years down the road, somebody reading those minutes aren't going to care. But you gotta keep the record that that item was brought up in the agenda. You're gonna, activity members of the members, for the larger clubs, you've got different activities going on. So you're gonna gather those into the meeting and record those activities. For small
Like
clubs,
project
or
fair.
projects, yeah. You got 1,000 projects going on, depends on the size of the club. You document any guests that you have by name. That goes in your minutes. And guest speakers, the same thing. Next slide. Okay. Actually, this slide is kind of deceptive. You're going to record this during the meeting. Everything is on this slide. You're going to record your attendance. I do that just so the guys come in. Or the club members come in. Sorry about that. Oh, we're in Michigan, the same guys.
Yeah.
It's universal. You're going to record the awards presented. The assistant treasurer on the dues. This is where the clubs are going to differ also. If there's any, I send the dues statements out as secretary. Some clubs and treasurers do that. And then the money that goes, any payment goes directly to the treasurer. Secretary does not, there's only one time you will touch any money in the club, maybe, and that's your tail twister. Okay, we don't distribute the minutes of the meeting, we file them. And if necessary, they can access it. The next meeting, if you take your minutes, you will read those minutes and have them inserted into the meeting.
Well, that would be where you'd have the minutes on the table, maybe when they come to a meeting.
Yeah,
And then ask, is there any discussion?
I physically read the minutes
Okay.
to the club. That's part of my. Yeah,
All right, we send them out electronically.
a lot of clubs do,
Business,
don't you?
we don't do treasurers, we don't do secretaries, our members don't want it, they're on speaker, they're on social time.
Yeah,
So everything goes out electronically, and I send out minutes, I give you a headline saying, if there's any changes or corrections, let me know by this, nothing such date, otherwise they stand as sent.
and that's where the clubs are going to differ. So-
I think they should know that.
Oh, yeah,
You know, most of my club is set up electronic,
we're a small club, so
so we,
everything happens at our club meeting, and that's what the guys want.
the club's on.
Yeah.
What's your,
I don't.
that's from, what area? Jackson. Jackson, thank you.
So I don't really need it. But at home, stop meeting in the morning.
Take your minutes. Usually, I know you said that you just want to mention what we talked about, not going through the whole discussion of things. But when you have like a bylaw change, and that has to be
That,
exactly what is there, and then what that was called for, and then the vote was taken, and it was accepted, correct?
correct,
It is the same thing for elections. Those are the only I need,
The elections are reported in the minutes.
because that's the only thing I need, because it's like a very long, it's 7 minutes on those things.
But it's,
Yeah.
Testing,
We don't either.
so we're off if we can get somebody to be.
I
Even
think,
if we're spelling of names or things like that, so.
If it's a bylaw, it's not the thing, that's,
Yeah. Okay, for the follow-up, if your membership chair has any membership applications, should turn in. Or you can record that. Now, any membership has to be voted on, a new member. The members are by invitation only. And like, as I said, you get a new member, you grab them. Don't let them get away. Okay, next slide.
You say your applications.
I do with the secretary. That book we talked about. What awards somebody got, what position they have, I can grab that book off my shelf, look up Esther Lamont, and everything's written right there.
When I took the position, I was just given a manila envelope that had a
That,
lot of, I don't know if it was the membership application for the last 5 years, so it's like, I didn't know.
I've got every membership application, a hard copy in that book,
Okay, so, okay.
because there's a. Well, we'll get into that later, but yeah. I think every club secretary should get one of those books. Because you've got, there's a, if you, can you still get them?
Would be our new secretary.
Can you still get that book?
I don't. get me what we-
Okay. I've got 2 of them. One is really beat up. Okay, the board meetings. Our club is small. I don't know. Do you have boards? Okay. The board is your board of directors. They're the part that really runs your club. So really, essentially this slide for the board meetings will essentially pretty well duplicate everything you do as the club over here. Let's go to part 2. And the same thing. That's good. Okay, recording the minutes. So did I get this? You got the date, where you meet, who conducted the meeting, the number of members that are in attendance, and any business that occurs during a meeting during the minute. Now, like I said, the minutes are kept forever. We, except for a few, we've got 30 years worth of minutes that we can access the hard copies, and some are really fun to go back and look at. Okay, part 2. That's really the same thing. Let's get that. Okay, club records. This is a big one, club charter. How many secretaries in here know where their club charter's at? We did. Our club charter was on the wall of our meeting place. They closed our meeting place. Our club charter disappeared. So this is critical. That the club secretary knows where that charter is. That's a founding document of your club.
Did you find it?
No,
The order, no.
we get a blank.
All right,
We've gone to state. And nobody can find it.
no, we're, not.
I think we tried LCM. We tried a lot of.
Get a copy of the.
We got ours from LCI, because ours was lost as well. And, of course, everyone's signatures are handwritten and these are not, but it's a very nice copy.
Okay. We're, ours is work in progress.
I think that ours is LCI.
So that is critical to keep that. Because that's the founding document of your club. Constitution and bylaws is what we discussed before. When you establish your club, you did your constitution bylaws. They're changing. They're changeable by a member of your club. I don't think it's anything.
They recommend how often you need to look at your constitution and bylaws, is it every couple of years, every 5 years, or? I didn't know if there was a recommended time.
What do you think? You're,
Most of you that don't know me, I'm past international director.
I keep coming back to you. Don't mind.
Keep track of what happens, your constitution and bylaws, the parent copy is made by Land Club Internet, so you can't do anything against theirs.
Right.
If they change theirs, then you need to look at yours to make sure it's in compliance. So go online, look at the club standard constitution and bylaws and district one, look at yours and make sure they're right. So now every year or so, somebody in your secretary, president, vice president, has something to do. Have them check that stuff.
Let's go to the next slide. Correspondences. You're, like I said, secretary receives a lot of correspondence by varying methods. So your email box obviously is on record at LCI. And that's where you get the majority of it. The different, if you support different agencies, every site, Bearley, Leader Dog, you will get mailings from them. So those will be hard copies that come to you.
When I took this, I was using my regular email, and I changed and got a separate account as a secretary. I could not believe how much comes into your email box a day. And some of it you don't, I don't even open it. It's like, you know, you don't need to, but you get a lot of things. When you get something from the district secretary, you need to address that.
Nah.
I mean, usually it's about a meeting that needs to be passed on to other people, and you're the whole that it goes through.
So the secretary's gonna funnel that through the club. Now, typically, your president is gonna get the same email. So they're gonna be duplicated. But there are times that they will, secretary will get stuff that the president doesn't get, and times the president will get stuff. Correspondence, you are the recording corresponding secretary, as it was. So, like, we have our reverse route. The letters, soliciting letters go out from the secretary. So any correspondence with the outside agency and the club goes to the secretary.
So for the new people, there's a book that's issued to the district and to the state that people all over the state can see who the secretary of that club is. And so that's the email that they will use.
Let's go part 2. This again, the secretary in some clubs. How do your clubs do the newsletter? The secretary,
They have reference phrase.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
So this is where the club's gonna differ. Hopefully, the newsletter not being done by the secretary is a wonderful thing. So this is where your club members get their information, what is happening in the club, because all club members do not attend meetings. So you send out the electronic newsletter. Like it, everybody does it electronically.
We have about 5 people that we have to do hard
Okay.
copies to.
Typically, newsletters sent out electronically. It's a lot easier. Publicity ideas. There's the secretary again. You know, how little stuff you guys do? Secretary doesn't do anything. It's only begun. Don't let me scare you guys away.
They're all thinking, what have I got myself into?
Okay, let's go to the next slide.
Why not?
Okay, club reports. You are the one that submits the club activities and reports to LCI. Your membership every month. LCI will get how many members you have in your club. We'll show you later how to do that. It's simple. And they made it nice and go back 2 months now if you don't do it. Club officer report. Let's get into that later. We'll show you how to do it. Because every year, it used to be April 15th. I see figures of July 15th now. Stick with the July. I like to stick with the April 15th to submit your officer for next year. What really helps on that, the incoming district governor is going to be producing the club rosters. And if you do it in July, you're in trouble. Your club roster may not be accurate. So do it in April 15th. That's an easy date to remember. You do your taxes and your office at the same time. Officers, it's easier. Office supply orders, we'll show you how to do that later on. But you will order all the club supplies for the club. Next slide. This is your membership and the reports to LCI.
Yeah, do you know how that's gonna change?
Does anybody know how it's gonna change?
I didn't find out anything.
They're putting it out now that it's coming in the next month.
They say,
That's what they're putting out.
I heard July. We're gonna get.
Whatever happens, then
Oh, that's a good point.
we'll probably roll it out.
Yeah.
Wasn't assigned them.
That makes sense. Thank you. I knew somebody would make sense of July dates. So these those 2 reports and the new one. Let's go on to the next slide. Okay, this is your member login into LCI itself. You will. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. You got 2 methods of logging into LCI. You're going in with your email address and password. If you're a new secretary, you'll drop down the second one here and register. So you will have register your email, password, and if you're like me, it gives you a capability of them remembering your email. So next time you log in, you're straight in. don't have to remember your password anymore. So that's what they started, 2 years ago, they started that.
No, I had one of them.
Yeah. So if your current secretary have an email and password registered, just sign in. And first time, the lower one, you'll have to log in. Next slide. This is where all the magic starts, guys. This is where our main thrust right now is my LCI. Note there's 3 other bullets here. Gobs of information here. Let's go way over the right one. This is where you shop for your club supplies.
John.
Now, it's a shop. There you can get all your club supplies, anything you want that International has.
It has by category. Such as more plaques, so we'll say awards.
Sure.
If you got an event coming up and you want party paraphernalia, they'll have it.
So how do you
Membership
pay,
packet.
how do you pay for it? Because, you know,
Okay,
clubs don't have. They build a club.
you can do it. You give them the option to build the club. Your treasurer will get the bill.
Or you can use the credit card. and reimburse it. Right?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Hey, the learn. In the learn, on your table, you got e-club or e-secretary books. Within that learn area, you can get an e-book for every position within your club. You'll print it out. The insights, if you want to know anything about Lions Club International, it's in there. How many members we got worldwide? How many clubs we have worldwide? How many clubs are in Argentina? All that information is in there. So our big thing is on my LCI. You notice down in the bottom corner, they're tempting you with the service metrics. That's another category. You have item. It's my line. And that's where you record all your service activities, hours and such. Let's go to the next slide. This is the membership. You check in my club. If you have multiple positions, which none of you do, like Esther. Up here in the corner, you can pick what position you are working in. Like I'm the LCIF coordinator, I'm club secretary, I was zone chair, so I have 3 bullets up there.
So. Are you in the my LCI? Have you clicked in that my LCI?
You've gone into my LCI, this is
All
the,
right,
once you go in,
all right.
you will see this, it's my club. This is where you do your reports
Okay, I got it.
to LCI.
Oh,
This is where you're gonna do your monthly report. If you want to know anything about your members, you see just below that arrow. Did they give you an arrow?
these are really hard to see.
Yeah, so I cheated, I brought last year's, which is bigger. So really, this is where you're gonna do your reports. So you're gonna pick your report that you wanna do. You click on them. Specifically membership,
They probably cover it all that.
right? Are you?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
You're gonna do the my line, right?
Pardon?
You're gonna do my line.
Mine else, yeah.
I'm gonna do all that, yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. That's where you're gonna pick up all your categories. That you're gonna report on. So if Dave is covering it, I won't. This is where you get your membership, all your club. Members, criterion. One thing you gotta do now that you didn't do before. You have, every club member has to have their birth date in their record. And a discrete email address. So how many have family units? Oh, great, in the club. If you have a family membership, where you have husband, wife, they each have to have an individual email address. They cannot share. I think that's part of the new portal. So if you've got a husband, wife, or a significant other, sharing an email, they've got to separate and have separate email recorded within their demographics of their membership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how this happened, but we had a couple of people in our club that it had their birth month and the correct year, but they didn't have the birth date. So it was like 7/1/56.
That's, we had a bunch of them like that too.
And you
So-
cannot, we cannot fix that.
Yes,
Well, I tried, and I had to go through membership for them to do it. You can do it on a new person, but on one that you're changing it, you'd have to go through membership at
Really?
LCI, yeah.
Oh,
Because I had,
really.
people that have the same birthday.
yeah, and it's like, I was trying hard, because I had just did 2 new members, and I could do that fine, but to change it, I had to go through membership at LCI.
I learned something new.
Oh,
Because I was lucky. All our secretary was so good. Like every member had the correct birth date in there.
We had the correct month and year, just not the date.
Wow.
And,
You can't put in.
and you cannot do it. And I will also tell you the thing I learned really fast is when you find a person that you work well with in the membership, ask their name and their phone number
oh,
or email, because they're wonderful. I mean, I Barbara is who I always talk to, and she gets back to me within 12 hours, which doesn't sound like much, but I waited a week on other things. And it really helps a lot. So when you get someone that you connect with, ask if you can write down her name and number, email address, and it works out really well.
That's good.
and also, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
At the BID, I still have friends. So I've had trouble with other people, so if anybody needs help. The trouble with that, I had trouble with LCIM. I had to follow my own club because when I was in Florida, a member transferred. And I knew he was transferring, but I wasn't home to do it, fix my NCI. They wouldn't let me touch him. I had to call and have them drop him from my rolls.
Yeah, I think the transfer, don't you have to drop them first?
Dropped them and
And then the other club
they didn't drop it. It was a possibility.
that
Yeah, I had to go through the whole process.
can't do that. You gotta physically drop them.
So I wasn't going to do,
Yeah.
anyway, I just offering myself.
No, that's great. I mean, this is,
And I will say, having a name and a number does wonders. And Esther Lamone, if you look in your roster.
Passing national director.
Right. It really, they didn't tell you the steps to take to get where you need to go. That helps a lot.
Yeah, like I said, I was lucky. All of our records were correct. Okay, what's the next slide? That's the same.
I think the thing for that, if Dave's gonna cover it.
Yeah.
Every month, we have to make amendments.
Yeah.
If there's no changes, it's simple, but you're done.
I think we got a slide that shows that. Let's see.
There's something to build into your program at the end of the, after each meeting, go in and do it.
No, you just didn't want.
Oh.
Actually, if you have no changes, you can just click the no change, but if you happen to forget last month, you can click on month and it'll give you a down with 3 months in there. And what it's gonna do, if you have, let's say June, if you have reported on June, there'll be a line through it. And you'll find one also across, before you get to that, you'll have a little chart with all 12 months. And it'll have a little check in there. So if you see a month without a check and it's within 2 months, you can go back and correct it. Never used to be able to do it.
I think a couple other things secretaries need to do, I have to maintain a membership list for my club. And you can generate that right off the internet. So there's a certain category of ways to save and print.
Yeah.
I save and send it all electronically, but my members want that kept up to date, so I'm glad it has been, I changed our numbers. And all her information, so I had to update that and get it out to the club. So they expect you to do that, you can also print your membership card.
Yes, I was gonna get to that. So. Yeah, all you do is click on that and it'll print out all your membership cards.
Just get their stuff from the office store and you print your own little
Yep.
membership card. There's also, I have had it on, right on the end, it sounds like.
Really?
Different. I think it's easy.
I don't know.
Nancy Hill found that out.
I have to look for that. Right? Who
The
said,
beauty of this.
who said we can't learn? And there's a wealth of knowledge in this room. Not from me. Say your zone meeting, again, we said, district governor's advisory committee. Your zone chair will contact your president or secretary or both. When the zone meeting will be. Zone meetings are invaluable. 2 members from your club should attend. At a minimum, your president and your secretary. Should attend all zone meetings. This is where all the clubs within your zone. Get together. And have input from activities from each club. Wealth of knowledge. From the different clubs.
Who's responsible for taking minutes of that? I mean, there's not a zone secretary, does the president just do it, or? I've never seen them.
The zone chair.
As zone chair, I did.
Yeah,
That's a good question.
I was gonna say that there's not a district zone secretary.
No. Huh,
just do it yourself.
that's a good question. Thank you. But I know as zone chair, I did.
Yeah, the room here has. Power report.
Yeah.
I take this, so Brian had any questions, but I didn't think. So.
Yeah, the zone chair's report was submitted directly after this very short, the zone meeting. And that'll list the clubs attending, the speaker and such.
Sort of be an attendance and who was there, how would be represented, what happened after coming in. How it worked.
We tried 3 times to get ours in. Zone chair is still trying for this. Get one in. Either we ran out of power or something. This year was tough to get a zone. Typically, your zone chair is going to have 3 zone meetings within the club year or the district year. What I always did, we had zone 1, zone 2 within the areas. So zone meeting 1, meeting 3 were individual. Meeting 2 was combined the 2 zones together. That's good enough on that. No, let's skip all the zone meetings. Succession meetings. The outgoing secretary has to get with the incoming secretary, do a transition. The new secretary may want to use the same minute format that the old one was. Not necessary. The contacts that the current secretary has made within the district, such as that, please pass that on to the new secretary. You will have your worst enemy with the new secretary if you don't. Or else they'll just give it back to you. But that correspondence in between is really critical. The working, you're into my LCI, show them how to get into them and tutor them, bring them down. And it's simple. You-
Yeah, and it's 6:50 and start this with 7.
Oh, okay. Okay. So anyway. Let's grab the next slide. Preparing, pass on information to the new. It's not, once you've done it for a month, if you slide right into it, it's a piece of cake. There's gonna be a hiccup periodically. And there are secretaries around, give them a call. They'll be happy to help you out. Next slide. The summary. You're gonna prepare and prepare for the program, make business records, and manage the correspondence. Good. Next thing. Same thing, report the membership. Report the past and future activities. And correspond with the district as required. In terms of zone meetings, update the roster on my LCI. Work with the treasurer to report any delinquent. I always, before I send out statements, I always contact the treasurer. Are there any delinquent accounts? They have not paid their dues. So when the new statement goes out, you got current dues, past dues. So contact the treasurer first. Review if you got any uncompleted membership applications, get them rolling before you get out. Next one. New membership information, as your new members come in, get that into LCI. Order club supplies and awards. If you have awards that your club is presenting to club members, get them on order. They come in quick. Submit your new officers as soon as the elections Go on. Okay. You'll get all kinds of information on convention. Don't worry about getting that. Apply for awards. And ensure a smooth transition to the new secretary. List that. The reporting officers is easy. You're going to, for the next officers coming in. You click on next year's officers. President is going to read blank or vacant. You click on members and all you do is curse down your membership and say Joe Blow is going to be president next year. Click on Joe Blow. It's inserted in there immediately.
It hasn't changed.
If done, you're gonna have to still submit it. Because that will be vacant for next year. Once you put that person's name in there, save it. If you don't save it, it will not be changed. And then go back to officers, go to first vice president. And on down your club members. So all you gotta do is click on your club roster, which will come up automatically, click on it. And it'll insert that name into that. And you can review that. Next, Ryan. Select the term next year. And then we have the next. Same thing, the field. I can cover that. Dialog box open, click on select members. Next slide. Next slide.
Next again.
Same thing. No, it could be no. I've never seen that don't change. Is that really in there?
Yes, remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's you're doing your member information itself. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry to rush. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is. Nobody really knows what's going on. The new portal. Like we kind of said, July after convention. They'll pass out the information to us. Until that was sort of. Just keep on alert, because it'll become, and when it comes, it's gonna come fast. But the criterion to be prepared for it, get the birth dates in there and separate email. And you'll be a step ahead of when the new portal comes down. And that should
Someone
be,
doesn't have an email address. They physically do not have a computer, they have a home phone. What do you do then? I have two
You
people.
can't put in a petition.
No.
Well, I put mine in.
That's what I do.
Because it's like they have no, I mean, they have absolutely,
will they let you do that?
they didn't, it's okay. No, what, are you talking about the person or?
International is not gonna.
Oh, right. What's the stage? Right.
Well, we're not questioning that, is not having, if they're gonna require us to have discrete,
No, I. have to do
nor I.
that.
I said, I just put mine in, so.
Stand by. Yeah, there you go. Okay, okay. Sorry, I ran 5 minutes over.
Your phone didn't go off, so you're not on the ground.
So I think I appreciate all the input back. I think we had a good session. That, like I said, don't let me scare you off. Secretary is probably the most rewarding position in the club. just jump in there with all 4 feet and plumb it. So.
All 4 feet. Yeah.
Oh, mine got 1 feet.
Are you just starting the secretary?
Sure, I'll take it.
No, well,
All right, sir. You're up.
So. But I did, on my roster, the 3 things that I use the most. That are club number on the front.
oh,
They always want your club number.
oh, I don't even know that.
And if you don't know it, they will tell you. Go look it up. look
The
at your-
Lion,
Yeah,
Yeah, I
blah, blah, blah.
didn't know my
hey,
name.
the Lion magazine,
Yeah.
look right above your name, there's a number.
Okay,
It's printed on the mailing label,
okay.
your club, your
The club
number.
number.
That's it. Okay, that's good.
You got the Lion magazine there?
No, but I have my license to be in. But go ahead, I'm just.
Otherwise, you as secretary can get that.
And the other thing I do is. For membership, the person I talked to is Margaret Ward, and she gave me her email address and her number. And she is wonderful, and that has been. That's what I person you should have. But that was just like, to me, the thing that helped me.
Have any questions? Club rosters.
Well,
Yeah.
I think this is because of the class that we did last year, so I mean, I was kind of floundering, but this worked out a lot, and I felt much more comfortable this time.
This is my family taking over last year.
Oh, you did a great job, Tom. Yeah,
Oh.
great.
Yes, you do.
So, yeah.
But I will tell you that they would not let me, they had, and I had to get all 5 of my people, as they changed it. for me. And the only reason I knew that they were the wrong ones, because they were the month, and then just the first day of the month, and then the correct year.
Well, somebody said they'll have 111. in
Oh,
there.
well, mine was like 7-1-6, or
Oh.
8-1-49.
Oh.
It was